baby, boom! Rise and shine. It's the shine every time, shining on us evenly. It's your morning marijuana motivation time. Your boy Barky saying I'm toking a road, kid, doing my morning walk. And this morning, well, every morning, I'm blessed to be alive, and so are you. And it's worth reminding we talk about mental stability and reach, preach, and teaching to people. And today or yesterday, I found somebody that I reached and they told me how I reached and impacted them. I got about a 5-minute video of this gentleman. Uh, I don't know, should I even say his Instagram name? But this gentleman that was reach, preach, and teach you and watches the show. And I want to say thank you for watching. Cue the intro. So, guys, I'm at Glass Vegas. Shout out to Glass Vegas. There's my wristband. It's in there somewhere. Of course, wristband, Glass Vegas, and I'm attending. And one of the gentlemen knew my friend, and he knew my Saints Addiction. He was like, "Are you Saints Addiction?" Did one of those, and okay, so this isn't about ego. What this was about being real, you know, being real enough to show off my morning hair, being real to talk about taboo subjects that other preachers don't talk about. Other preachers aren't getting on the pulpit and doing the drugs that they do in front of people, right? They live the lies behind the scene, and that's why I had to have the conversation. Is that where all the sin gets happening? Everything gets done behind the scenes and no one talks about it. Nobody's willing to talk about abortions. You know, it just happened to me and I can't get over it. You know, I've been crying in the mornings. Nobody's willing to cry on the show. You know, it's hard subjects talking about men's mental health and mental health in general, right? But if we don't get our minds right, I believe, especially in the morning, because by the day you've already had your set pattern to get into our own world, into our own heads and say, all right, what's going to be beneficial for me? You know, in the long run, how am I going to benefit from instability? How am I going to benefit from conflict? How am I going to benefit from the static that comes with life? I don't know anyone that's getting through life without something happening to them. And it's not comfortable to talk about, way easier to suppress our pain. But I've seen addictions get out awkwardly. Got me a fucking private helicopter. Wouldn't that be dope? One of these shows, I just get into a helicopter. That's gonna happen. Manifest. But you know, sometimes we lose our magic, right? One day I had my magic in my hot little hands, and next minute I didn't. Now I have this pendant. Thanks to this gentleman. He gave me this really cool pendant. Let me stop walking for a second, show it off. You see it? Isn't that cool? I want to drop it. So, because of the show, you know, he knew the catchphrase, he knew the boom, baby, boom. He knew the rise and shine. Rise and shine. You gotta rise and shine, man. The sun keeps rising. It rises equally on all of us. It doesn't take any days off. Like I told my buddy this morning, I said, the abortion is tough because it's something that keeps me in the past and I keep ruminating and vacillating and thinking, what the fuck happened? Why did my life go this way instead of that way? And then I realized when I talk about that, how many of us have felt that in our lives? How many of us have felt that our life should have gone in a different direction? We feel slighted or some form of loss, and how to take a loss like a boss, how to keep this positive energy and the magic. It's not easy, man. I go into these things and I pretend, you know, we all put on a mask to hide what's really inside. But how many of us are at a show taking down our mask, showing our bed head, getting real with it? And I think that's what makes this show awesome, was to touch people that need it. You know, we all have mentality. We all have a mind and a consciousness. But how aware are we of our mind and consciousness? I don't know, man. So many people just go from spot to spot. This is still the same creeper rape van I walk by every time. It's always still here. It's creeping me out. If I 19206 in case I get raped in there. Should I just look in there just to make sure there are no bundles or dead bodies in there? I mean, wouldn't you want to be found? That's what we're doing over here at Saints Addicted. Looking into the dark places so someone can be found. You know, I'm one of those where I do need my circle of influence. I do need my friends. I do need reprieve from depression, from suicidal thoughts. I thought I could get over all that stuff since I was a kid, and man, after losing my baby, boom, right on back. Depression can just be a motherfucker. It's almost like I absorbed it from this person, you know? And what was worse is I couldn't translate my happy into her happy. I couldn't, maybe my magic wasn't magic enough. You know, for some people, I bump into them and it's not magic. Like, I know who you are. You owe me for some edibles or something. Some miscommunication, and disgruntled customer got two people frustrated, and I used it again, a chance for conflict to resolute and just make amends. And that's all we can do. With today, the power of now is not let some of that energy get sucked up by other things anymore, right? To share in the light, you know? It was so cool that this gentleman broke it off with me for a good 2 minutes before I even did anything. I would just listen to him, and to hear somebody who's been listening to me for 18 months and getting pumped up with the morning and ready for life because I got up and showed the shine, and this is the way I feel. That really touched my heart, man. That really improved my well-being, and I was like, thank you for letting me that. Right now I'm not feeling that same shiny guy, you know? And he's like, but that's the part, bro. That's the part about keeping it honest and keeping it real. Most motherfuckers want to do their hair or pretend that there's something that they're not. And you're like, real. Talking about real subjects that really scare people, you know? And it's what I wanted. I wanted real change. I felt that was the only way to change these things. If I don't talk about my abortion, they continue on. If I don't talk about pedophilia, it continues on. If we don't talk about suicide, it continues on. And all these are the hush subjects, you know? But I talked about my addiction openly, you know? I talked about recovery and sobriety and depression. Yeah, if you follow any of this anger, addiction to anger, that was a motherfucker I'm still learning from. So all these things and more. We're going to talk about the medicine. We're going to talk about mushrooms, healing the brain. And I've been microdosing to save my life, save my mind, save my soul. I don't know if they're working necessarily, but I feel all right. I'm walking. I'm really grounded up and put it in my morning medicines because I don't want to trip that hard. I've been around a lot of conventioneers and I want to stay in frame, but you know, talking to a lot of people. Your boy Marky Saint, live off the 95, literally getting my life on, you know, and sharing it with others so they can shine. That's a blessing. You know, that gentleman, Gnarls, I think his name's Gnarls something, on Instagram 79. We're about the same age. And you know what? Since he called me the preacher, your boy's the pot preacher now. You know, I've been coining the phrase of doing my own sort of preaching of reality and truth and what I think truth is, at least my version of it. But at least the pot preacher, all the way from the Cannabis Chapel to Saints Addiction. We out here. Go be blessed, not stressed. I'll holler at you and see you on the other side. Peace.